will tell you, if you're anything like me, like if we're wired the same, okay, this was more intense for me than a flu shot. It just was.
There's no going back. Squad ain't with me.
Hello to everybody and their moms, it's your girl Kristen here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to just be telling you guys my full experience of getting the COVID-19 vaccine. I actually wasn't really planning on doing a video about this, and then I posted a poll on my story, and a pretty good amount of you were pretty interested in knowing the behind the scenes. So today I'm just gonna tell you the story, and if you guys are wanting a Q&A, then I can definitely make that happen. This video is going to be split into 3 parts. So we'll have pre-vaccine, the day of the vaccine, and then post-vaccine. So, I mean, you guys can jump wherever you need to. I recommend, especially if you don't know anybody personally that has gotten the vaccine, besides me, because now we know each other, so it's fine. I would definitely recommend watching this from start to end, so you know the entire process, the ins and outs. If you choose to get it, you won't be surprised by anything. Not that this needs to be said, but I also do want to mention this is not sponsored. Not that it would be sponsored, but the CDC did not slide me, a Benjamin and was like, hey, make sure you tell us that we look good. If you would like to know my experience, keep on watching. So, pre-vaccine. First things first, I have to give a shout out to my mom. My mom was really on top of this and is pretty much the sole reason that I even got my vaccine, so. Thanks, Mom. My mom found this website that, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get in line to get a vaccine. It's a very really difficult process, I would say, actually. Imagine that you're trying to buy, concert tickets, or if you've ever registered for a class before, if you're in college, or, anything like that requires you to get up and have it in a certain amount of time. That is what this is like. It is kind of stressful. It is kind of you have to get up and you have to log in. You have to complete a survey every single time. So you really have to make sure that you're reading the questions in the order that they put them in. And then once you get that, you can choose your location and the time that you will get it. Sidebar. Now, the people that are getting the vaccine right now are in the high risk category. So if you're interested to see if you apply on that list, I think the CDC has a list of what that looks like. So none of us went for the same reasons, but definitely check that list to see if that applies to you before you're just oh, I'm gonna sign up. There's different factors that can tie into, getting the vaccine. We made sure to mark our calendars, and we all got the same date and time and location. So we all just happened to carpool together since we all live together. And so then came the vaccine day. So for the day of the vaccine, we knew where we were going, but if you have never been to, whatever location, I would just recommend getting there early, just because, I don't see what the downside is to getting anywhere early, to be honest. So we drove there together, got there, and, the first question that went through my head when I saw the place, I was like, how the heck do they even know that I'm here to get the vaccine? How is this even going to work? Because people were just lining up and just entering this building. And so I was just really confused. So of course, have your mask. Okay, that should be a given, but have your mask. And so we walked up and there was a couple of different checkpoints. So the first checkpoint, they give you this clipboard and they have you fill out your information. So that includes what your address, your age, just basic information, health information. Then they actually scan your phone number to see if you are who you say you are. So this is not oh, hi, I'm George, when really I'm Franklin. And I go up there and scan it. That didn't make any sense. But the point is, they will double check, okay? So we get up there, they verify who we all are, and they put a sticker on our clipboards, and then you have to wait in this line that wraps around the outside of the building. So eventually we get into the building, and when you get inside the building, there's a second checkpoint, there's somebody there, there's 2 lines. And so my sister, my mom, and I, since we were all in the same party, went to this one lady. She double checked all of our information and she gave us, the go ahead. She gave us the form to hold on to, and then we got into another line. So then you get through this line, it winds around the area where they're giving the vaccines, and you just stand and wait. While you're in this line, there really is nothing to do. I would personally recommend bringing a book. I really had wished I had brought a book because I would have gotten through a lot of material. But yeah, definitely make sure that you bring something that will keep you occupied. And then while you're waiting in line, you get to the next checkpoint. point, which is where they will point to you which table is free for you to go get the vaccine at. So they directed me to this empty table. I got there were 2 women. One woman asked for the piece of paper that I had, and she like triple checked my information. The other lady, she was going to be giving me the vaccine, and so she asked me a series of questions. She was like, okay, have you gotten a different type of vaccine? Like, would that be flu or, you know, any of those types of things recently? Are you pregnant? Are you planning on getting pregnant? You know, are you planning to get a different vaccine after this? Like, all just those types of questions. Those were the specific ones that I remember, but those were asked. So I told her obviously no to all of those, and then she was like, okay, cool. So whenever I showed up, I actually wore a jacket and I had a short sleeve shirt underneath. I definitely recommend that, simply because it could be cold in the facility that you're waiting at, but also because it was just easy for me to slide up my sleeve and then for them to put the vaccine in the arm that I had selected. So I'm sure if you've ever gotten a flu shot before, sometimes the nurse will tell you to get the vaccine in the arm that is your dominant hand, you know, your dominant arm. So you'll be moving that muscle more and that arm more, and it will just, you know, the pain will feel less. And so I was like, I'm gonna use the same logic here, and I'm gonna get it in my right arm since I'm right-handed, and that's what I did. So getting the vaccine felt just like your average flu shot, okay? There's no abnormal pain. At least I didn't experience any abnormal pain. There was not like, you know, they're stabbing you. Like, it was just a regular shot. You get a little bandit, everybody's happy, okay? So after that, they handed me a card, and this card, you're not supposed to put this on social media. So if you do happen to go and get the vaccine, don't be silly and post it. You're literally not supposed to do that at all. But anyways, I'll see if I can find like a pretend one online or like an example that they post on these sites. But essentially, the card has your name, your birth date, when you got the vaccine, the first dose of the vaccine, and then they have like a healthcare professional sign off on it. So after you get the vaccine and they hand you this card, they have you actually sit in these chairs that they have set up that are 6 feet apart from every single person, and you have to sit and wait there for 15 to 30 minutes. And they said once 15 minutes passes and you feel fine, you can leave. For some people, they have to stay for up to 30 minutes. Me, my sister, and my mom waited just 15, just because we felt fine afterwards, but you do have to sit there and wait. So now post-vaccine. So while we were leaving, my sister and I actually grabbed some complimentary water bottles that they had, and I recommend just bringing a water bottle, keeping it in your car for when you finish getting it, since you're not gonna wanna take off your mask and obviously drink anything while you're inside this, you know, facility full of people. But when you get back to your vehicle, first of all, wash your hands, and then definitely drink some water. I can't speak for anybody else, but I had a very intense headache. I'm prone to getting headaches, but this was a very intense one. Like, I had my glasses on, like everything, and it was still just like very extreme, okay? I also want to mention that whenever I got back home, the pain, the pain is real, okay? So before I talk about the other symptoms that I had, I do just wanna make note that the symptoms that I had were different from my mom. My mom didn't even have these symptoms, so don't like, you know, freak out and be like, oh my God, this is too much. Like, it might not even affect you. You know, you'll probably just have sunshine and rainbows. That was not me, but you know, this is just me giving you guys my honest experience. So, in terms of other symptoms that I had, like I mentioned, I had a headache, but I had really extreme arm pain. My arm pain lasted for a full 48 hours, which they do tell you. They tell you that you can have arm pain that'll last for 2 days. Like, but I'm telling you, I've been told this before whenever I've gotten like a flu shot, and they'll be like, it could last up to 48 hours. And I'm like, okay, and in like 15 hours, I'm fine. No, this is the full 48. Like, if you were ever looking for someone that was going to clock in and clock out for the full duration of time, it's the vaccine, okay? Like, the pain for the vaccine really did her job. Like, she made sure to do the full length of 48 hours. I was in pain. I really could not move this arm. I know my sister, Sydney, that happened to her. She literally told me and my mom, she was like, my arm feels useless. Like, it hurts. It did hurt. Not gonna lie about that. Another symptom that I had when I came home, I was just extremely exhausted. So I knocked out for 4 hours straight. Not an exaggeration. I just literally fell asleep, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, 4 hours have passed. That's fine. What actually really woke me up is that I ended up rolling onto my right side, and that pain from my arm, like, I jolted awake and I was like, ow, what the? And then I remembered that I got my vaccine. So that combination was just not great for me. I was kind of restless for 2 days. I do want to reiterate that, again, my mom did not have any arm pain. She really didn't. I asked her again before I filmed this video, I was like, did you have side effects? She's like, no, like I felt fine. So don't be scared, like don't let that scare you away. But I will tell you, if you're anything like me, like if we're wired the same, okay, this was more intense for me than a flu shot. It just was, and I'm just gonna be honest with you about that. And as an update, today is the 5th day since I've had my vaccine. Tomorrow when I upload this video, it will be the 6th day. So it hasn't even been a week yet. I'm feeling fine. I'm thinking I'm looking fine, okay. Okay. But I haven't had any like weird abnormalities or things show up on my body or anything like that. So that's also something important to note. The last thing I do want to mention is that when you're in the line for getting your vaccine, they do hand you like a pamphlet that tells you about the vaccine that you're taking. And one really important misconception that I've heard a lot on the internet is like, oh, they put the COVID-19 virus inside the vaccine. No, they don't. I have a sheet that has information on it. So based off of what I have from, you know, official paperwork, and I'll put it on the screen because I still have it. It clearly states that they do not put the virus inside the vaccine. Unlike the flu vaccine, right? The flu vaccine, they put a little bit of it in there and then your body like adapts to it. They did not do that with the COVID-19 vaccine. So just, you know, if you're watching this and you had that, you saw that spread in the internet, I'm just telling you, like, from the sheet that I have, that's not true. And yeah, that's my entire experience. So if you're seeing my face, congratulations, you made it to the end of this video. I do want to say if you have any additional questions, because again, I had mentioned a Q&A. If you want me to do a Q&A, just comment questions below and I'll do a separate video on that. I have absolutely no problem doing that. For example, if you're like, oh, how did you help ease the pain that you had? I can do a whole, you know, segment on that as well. There are things that I did do that didn't involve medication. So if you would like to know that kind of stuff, just comment it below and just let me know. Also, I will be getting a 2nd dose of the vaccine in a month. So if you're wanting an updated video on that as well, just let me know and I can make that happen. If you're new here, definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll put my weekly subscriber goal onto the screen. God, my head is like really big today. What's going on? But if you feel like this is something that you can help me out with, definitely make sure to do so. I would really, really appreciate it. Also make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me out a lot, helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And also make sure to turn on my notifications. That way you don't miss a single upload. And lastly, I have an Instagram account. Normally I wouldn't plug this in a video like this, but I will say that the quickest way for you to see any updates that I have or, you know, anything that happens to me with the vaccine will be posted on Instagram. So, you know, definitely head over there. You can definitely double tap a couple photos, but definitely make sure to watch my stories because that's where you can probably get the quickest updates on what's occurring with me. And I'm pretty sure that's everything. So thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.